right, you ready? Here we go. There.
Hey, we're here with Phil, and Steve just walked off from Strongway Systems, right?
Yes, sir.
How long have you guys been in business?
About 3 years.
First, did you see the original video where we showed the shed before we started on it?
I sure did.
Okay, so you saw that.
I did.
There was a lot of comments that said we should just tear this thing down and start over. Did we make the right choice?
Yeah, this building's got good bones. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this building. It's
okay.
Fine. Yeah, and we see it a lot. I mean, these buildings, when they start to get a little age on them, the rest of the building's fine. The steel's good. The framing's still good. As long as it's not leaking, you know, you're in good shape. It's just the columns want to rot off, and that's what we're doing, is we're fixing those.
Now, we took a concrete saw and we sawed around all these posts here, and then we've broken out the concrete around 4 of them. And what did you see when we broke out that concrete?
Those posts were still relatively decent. They were starting to show a little bit of decay, but they're okay.
Okay. So based on that, you kind of decided maybe we didn't really need to do the rest of these.
No, I mean, we talked about it, and I don't think it's necessary. You know?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably wise too. So what we've done is the 4 we chose to break out around, we're going to go ahead and do those. And then the rest of them, we'll just leave. Now, we have the other end over here where I don't know, somebody put mulch around the posts.
Yeah,
I think
we noticed that. Yeah.
You wouldn't recommend mulch around posts?
No, mulch, you don't know what's in mulch, you know. So what causes these posts to decay is the microbes, moisture, and those microbes need food. And when you put mulch in there, there's plenty of food source, you know, whether you're termites or insects or whatever's down there, it's gonna accelerate the decay process.
So you've got all that decay, the posts falling apart. What solution?
Well, there's several solutions out there.
Some people were asking me about digging it all out and everything.
You can dig it out. You can do that.
That sounded like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and it takes a long time. And it's not a permanent solution. You're still putting a wood column next to your existing wood column that we've already seen is decayed. So it doesn't really fix a solution. You know, it's not a solution to the problem.
Somebody talked about those concrete posts.
You can do those too. Yep, and those are great. There's nothing wrong with those, but again, you're looking at labor. So in order to do that, you've got to support the building, you've got to jack the building up, you've got to cut the posts, you got to tear it out, you know, you got to dig a huge hole. It's going to take several hours to do each one.
Back-breaking hours for me.
Absolutely.
So what's your proposal?
Do the sleeve.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are just steel,
they're steel
sleeves?
Yeah, they're galvanized steel. They're 6 foot long. They've got 14 bends in them.
Okay.
So what we do is come in and put that around your post and then push it down to your footing. And what it does is it stabilizes the rot zone. So since we're pushing it down to the footing, if it's settled, we can correct any settlement issues if the post is rotted in two. And then basically you're attaching the top of the post to the bottom of the post and securing it all together.
Okay, so we're actually going to put a bolt through here on the top, and then the sleeve goes all the way down to the foundation. So even if that post totally rots and totally disintegrates, it's no longer necessary.
It's probably going to add about 20 years to the life of your building.
Hey, let's talk just a little bit about the tractor. You know, this is tractor time with Tim.
That's right.
It's not post time with Pete.
No, well, we could do one of those too, but I'm not Pete, I'm Phil.
This looks like a shaver post driver.
That was. Yeah, we teamed up with Shaver, and they were kind enough to help us out. We went out to Grettinger, Iowa. We met with their team, their engineers out there, and we took some drawings and some photos, and we took them a cylinder. Said, hey, can you help us?
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, it's going to take us a month. The next day, he's sending us pictures. He had put it together for us. And so they were excited about it. So they've been a great partner to work with, and it makes the job a lot easier.
Yeah, I see it hooks just to the Power Beyond.
It does, yep.
And then it's got its own SCV back here to control all this. It looks like you pinch the main post, the existing post, when you start.
Yep.
And then what?
And then the hydraulics, you can adjust it in and out, up and down, side to side. So it's got full controls for function.
So you don't have to back it in there perfectly?
No, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay.
But the nice thing is when you get it set up, it's straight. So it's going to push that sleeve perfectly true down. It's not, it's not going to kick out, and there's a lot of weight to it. As well. So it helps to drive it straight, and it's smooth. There's no pounding, there's no banging. It's just a smooth operation.
Let's say the ground's really hard. Are you going to be able to?
If there's frost in the ground, you're going to have a tough time.
But typically, I mean, even in the summertime, you'd be able to go through.
Oh yeah, in the summertime, not a problem. The only issues we've ever run into is if there's, like I said, frost in the ground, or if they're backfilled with concrete.
Okay. So you guys been doing these, you've done thousands of them, you said.
We have.
What's your vision for your company? I mean, it's always fun to see a small US-based company with a brilliant idea get started. Where do you want to go from here?
And we're trying to find different people to help us with the installations. We're based in Central Illinois, so we cover a lot of Central Illinois, but we're looking for guys who want to add this on. It's a great filler work if you're already in post frame, or if you're in construction, or if you just want to try something new. It's easy, it's low cost to get started, and it's a good solution to help people, and it's profitable.
So you guys could provide the sleeves, and you could provide the driver.
Yes.
They can run off and solve people's problems.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a good idea. Hey, if you're interested in being a dealer, check it out.
Give us a call.
What's
Absolutely.
the website?
Strongwaysystems.com.
Okay. Don't run them off yet, Christy. We need them. We need them. Whether it's orange or green, it doesn't matter. It's going to get the job done, I hope. Christy, I think I could even do this.
Oh, you could definitely do it.
This is amazing. I mean, it just slides right down, right through butter. So you go down as far as the cylinder will go, and then you insert this little
Put an extension in there.
on it.
Yep.
So those rollers down there keep it from
Pushing
coming
out.
away from the post, yeah.
Yep.
It looks easy. Phil, I think you could just take your hands and push down there.
I might be able to. Probably not.
Christy's got a weird look. What's going on, Christy?
It pops, doesn't it?
So that you're sure that's all the way down to the footing?
Did you see the building lift?
I did see the building lift.
You're there.
Christy, there are so many uses of a tractor. I would have never dreamed.
That was not nearly as deep. Isn't it weird how
And they're nearly the same.
they are. And those are the same. It's bizarre.
So this looks like Plan B. What's going on here, Phil?
Well, this one's a little wider. So we've got two different methods to install these.
Yeah.
This one we use in tight spaces, or we'll use these in the corners as well.
Okay.
Because we can't get that big driver everywhere.
Yeah.
So we've got two methods to do this. This one's nice, it's portable. We're using the tractor to lift it in place to save some effort on our part. We can get it in some tighter spots. For those guys that have a building that's full of a lot of stuff, it makes it a little more difficult to get the full tractor in there.
Okay, so you could actually reach over stuff sitting right here,
You
couldn't
could,
you?
yep.
We also have a portable cart that's powered by a 12-volt battery that'll power that cylinder.
Okay.
So if you get a building where they can't move equipment, we can bring that cart that's only 30 inches wide in and get to just about any space.
Okay. Now, you had the nice rollers on the bottom when you're using
Yeah,
the
so we
driver.
will disconnect that chain and use that roller on the front there to push against this as it drives down.
Okay, so really the mounting on the forks is just to carry it around. It's really not part of
It is.
what we're
Right.
going to do.
Exactly.
Got it, okay.
And if you're not using a tractor and you're using the cart, you can't get the tractor. And we actually have a clamp that will clamp around this. It has a roller on it that'll keep it tight to the column.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we had to find different methods because we ran into different situations.
Sounds good.
Every building's a little different.
Well, let's see it work. Notice, Christy, they're using the third function valve on their loader to run this cylinder.
Okay.
Hey, Phil, this corner, how do you do that? You can't get on all three sides of it, so how do you do that?
We've got two-sided sleeves, so it's going to cover each corner. Then we've got a stiffener leg on the side.
Oh, okay.
So it gives it more strength. You've got the same amount of material as you do the standard ones,
Okay.
and it's just as rigid and stiff. It's just, we can't get to the other side, so
Okay.
we got it on two. Steve and I have been working on this for several years, and I don't know, how many different prototypes have we made, Steve?
This was the 4th generation.
So we tried several different models and different makes and different shapes, and we needed something that wouldn't crush or roll as we put in. You know, we started with one that was flat and it didn't work, and then, then how do you drive it? So coming up with the design and the shape to make it strong, and then to be able to install it easily, that was the key points. There is a method to our madness, believe it or not.
This is cool stuff.
You know, we used to replace columns, like you mentioned. We'd excavate a hole, we'd cut the column off, take the column out. We'd bolt brackets to that and then backfill it with concrete.
Okay.
The issue with that was material and labor costs. Some people, I mean, they're looking at spending $20,000 to try to get some more life out of your building, where we've been trying to reduce that cost, and that is why we developed this system.
Okay.
It's about a third of that or less in most cases. You know,
Okay.
because the material cost is less, the labor cost is much less, so we're able to prolong the life of these buildings for much less cost.
And we're
Now my question is, do you guys flip a coin for the tractor driving job, or does Steve always get it?
We switch, but I prefer to drive the tractor.
Come to me a little bit. Yeah. You're there. You're there.
Wow.
You see a force that wants to lift the building.
I see it. I just can't believe it. It's just. Now I guess it's possible they could have put concrete around the post, isn't it?
It
so
is.
the post could be further down.
Yeah, they probably did. It's a door jamb, so they may have. We've seen that in the past.
Christy, this looks like it's really going to work to me. And this is a lot more cost effective than a new building. It's also more cost effective than, and labor saving than digging out under there. That was the one I was worried about right there, that post. That's the one I dug out and started all this. Oh, I see, you got teeth on one side.
Yeah, on both sides actually.
Oh, okay.
That's a new design. Initially it was like little nails, and that worked well, but that really grabs.
Yeah, and you don't have to pull the nails or anything.
No.
Hey Phil, this looks like it's a little bit away from the post. What do we do there?
Well, we've got to make them in such a way that they'll fit around the post and still slide down. And these posts come in so many different shapes and sizes and varieties that we've got several different sizes. But once we drive them down in there, as we run the fasteners in, the sleeve actually pinches the tighter on each column.
Okay.
These are a structural fastener. We use several different varieties, but they've got either a T30 or a T40 head on them. It's kind of a big fat pancake head and some real aggressive threads. They're structural. So they use them for column to truss connections, deck ledger board connections. So that's what we're using to attach the sleeve to the post.
And that's going to suck that right up there against the post.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what's nice about these aggressive threads. It pulls it in tight.
Look at that.
Just like that.
Guys, we're done already.
Yes.
That went quick.
Goes fast.
Yep,
Yes,
not
sir.
too bad.
Yeah. A couple things I'm noticing here is they stick out a little bit from the wall. Now I'm wanting to put some inside liner on my wall. What do I do to, how would you recommend doing that?
You're out about 3/4 of an inch there.
Yeah.
So I would put a 1 by faceplate on the column. And then
Okay.
you can fasten your girt right to that faceplate and right to the face of the steel sleeve. Then you'll have a nice flush wall. And you can screw the girt right to the face of that steel sleeve right there.
Oh, okay. You can screw right in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can either pre-drill and use a wood screw, or you can buy a self-tapping screw and screw right into the steel with that.
Okay. That sounds like a great approach. Hey, if somebody's interested in this solution for their building problems, what should they consider? In other words, when they call you, what's your first questions to them to make sure they're qualified for this fix?
Well, I guess there's several things. We'll want to know the age of the building, maybe who made it, type of columns, whether they're a solid 6x6 or if it's a 3-ply 2x6, or they come in different sizes. So just understanding that, their location, and again, we're looking for guys that want to do this. We can't be everywhere, unfortunately. So, and then if we can have somebody maybe in their area, reach out to them and talk to them.
Well, I mean, we need to understand, what we really need is clear access to the columns in order to fix them.
Yeah.
If we don't have clear access, we do have other methods, but that's always one of the first things we want to understand. We want to understand the type of floor that's in the building, whether it's concrete, dirt, or gravel. That'll impact.
You didn't
the
mention
procedure.
mulch.
Mulch is usually not an option. That's a unique situation you're dealing with here, Tim. So.
I've heard that before. Unique situation, Tim. I kind of heard that. I don't know what the theme is here, but
But we can repair round columns, square columns, multiple ply columns. So
Okay.
other things that impact the procedure are lofts, interior lofts or decks, interior finishes on walls and things like that. We can usually get around some of those.
But if you can get to the post, whether it's a laminate post, whether it's a solid post, different sizes, you're
We
not...
can fix it, yeah, we can fix it. The one thing we can't do with the sleeve, if the concrete has been backfilled around the column, it eliminates the sleeve as an option, but we have other options that can repair that post.
If you're interested in those other options, give these guys a call. Again, it's strongwaysystems.com.
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
There's a phone number there, or a contact me, because I contacted them, and it worked. They're here.
Yeah, we showed up.
Guys, I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having us, Tim.
Tim, it's
Steve,
been a pleasure.
thanks.
Thank you.
Great to meet
Phil,
you.
thanks.
Absolutely.
And thank you for watching, everybody. And we'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.